I'll take that as a yes.
What?
The ring.
Hey everybody, so the Justice League social media embargo is up, so I can talk about the film, but I'm not allowed to review it yet, so this won't be like a full review video, but there won't be any spoilers from the movie. But I know everybody just wants to know what's going on, what does everybody think of it, who's seen it so far. So if you're just finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's a ticket giveaway that I'll explain at the end of the video too. And I'll try to explain, what I think they're going to do next in terms of movies and structure things based on my reaction to Justice League. So there were a lot of things going into the movie, a lot of rumors that turned out not to be true. There were actually a lot of good things based on all the late changes that they made, like bringing Joss Whedon in. It's a little hard to tell what scenes are Joss Whedon and what scenes are Zack Snyder. But there were certainly a lot of moments that felt like Joss Whedon type jokes, like just little moments of comedy that he sneaks in. But the really good news is that the best thing that works about the film is the characters. I think that's probably the most important thing, because you can't build a franchise around an idea, and it just gets me really excited for, say, like the Aquaman movie and the Flash movie, because both of those characters were amazing. If you've heard reports that they're like prioritizing the Flash character now that they've finished the Aquaman movie because he works so well in Justice League, you'll understand once you see the movie, and some of the Flash's interactions with specific other characters are some of the most comic booky things that you've ever read about. Like if you're a big fan of the classic Flash comics, no joke, they did some of the funniest classic Flash stuff that you've ever read about. Some of the stuff that the TV show has also done versions of too. So even though Ezra Miller's Flash looks very different, the aesthetic is completely different. He feels like the same Flash, although his Barry is a little bit younger than Grant Gustin's Barry. This version of Barry is still a college kid, and his dad, Henry Allen, is featured in the movie, so they give you a little bit of background that gets you ready for the Flash movie. But he's played by the same actor that played Dr. Manhattan, so there's this, big sort of meta joke going on in the film where Dr. Manhattan is the father of the Flash. And I know they're crossing the Watchmen over in the comics right now, so if you're a big comic book fan and you are current with what's been going on this past year in the comics, there'll be a lot of meta jokes that you'll recognize that they didn't necessarily intend to happen in the movie. Like they're doing Dark Knight's Metal right now. It's this very Batman-centric big crossover event. Obviously, the movie isn't doing any of that stuff, but there are a lot of metaphorical jokes about the characters that are similar to what's going on in Dark Knight's Metal. But I think that's just a thing with movies this year where you have darkness versus light in a metaphorical way and a literal way. Like it's even happening in the Star Wars movies. I think one of the Star Wars trailers said, "Darkness rises and the light rises to meet it." No surprise, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman totally works in this. She's sort of the glue that holds the characters together. Like normally you would expect Superman to do that, but because of the plot, Superman isn't around at the beginning of the film. So she's sort of like the den mother that keeps everybody from flying apart. And it's funny to see her do that the way she did that for her group during the Wonder Woman movie, even though in that movie she was quite literally fresh off the boat. So the way the gal talked about her character in this movie is that she's all grown up, so she's kind of like a big sister to the other characters. Because like she said in Batman v Superman, "I've fought things that aren't from this planet before." I was totally unsurprised by Jason Momoa's Aquaman. He was great. I'm so excited for the Aquaman movie now. Most of the comedy of the character you've seen in a lot of the recent trailers, like where Batman is normally like the big tough guy who's really quiet, but in this film, he's the one that has to go out and collect everyone. So that means that Aquaman gets to be the big tough guy. So they use that for some very, very good comedy. So he provided a really interesting opportunity for Batman to just chill out a little bit. Like he isn't quite as severe as he was during Batman v Superman. Generally, I think people will come out of this saying that it's much better than Batman v Superman, definitely better than Suicide Squad. But in general, I think most people's enjoyment of the film will just depend on how much they enjoy the characters. Like if you're a big Flash fan, if you're a big Jason Momoa fan, if you liked Wonder Woman, you will definitely love Justice League, albeit there are a lot of things that don't work in the film. And it's pretty clear, there are some weird things before the film came out that were released. Like the CEO of Warner Brothers gave them this mandate that the film had to be less than 2 hours. So there was a lot of talk like, why is it less than 2 hours? They probably shot a 4-hour movie. So there are a couple problems with pacing and them burning through story just because they were ordered to keep the movie so short. But most of those problems are common to all superhero films. Even Marvel films still have pacing issues. But you have to remember that they're bringing together the members of the Justice League. So like in the first Avengers film, you have to have those beats with each of the characters as they come to the team. Then you get to the next film and you don't have to deal with any of that. You can get right into the fun of things. And speaking of sort of like pacing the movie, I felt like they ended it in a way that will allow them to do whatever they want to with the next Justice League movie, and they won't be shackled to any particular plot. Although obviously they set up a bunch of very specific things, like Steppenwolf is coming to change the Earth for Darkseid. So there's certainly a lot of questions that they can answer with future films, but it's not like they're painting themselves into a corner like, oh, you did this post-credit scene where a bunch of stuff happened, so you have to answer that. But I think one of the big changes they made was to the ending, so they don't paint themselves into a corner. They just have a little bit more freedom with what the story is going to be for Justice League 2. And they've already started working on that. And like I said, the best thing about the movie is its characters. So you will be so excited about what they're going to do with the next Man of Steel movie, the next Wonder Woman movie, the Flash movie, and obviously Aquaman, which is literally the next movie that's coming out. Just a reminder too, the Aquaman movie is being released around this time next year, so it will be another year before you get a DC movie, but I think that after that, because of the changes they've made with the way they make their films, they'll be able to get to the point where they can put out 2 a year, so you get like one in the spring, then one in the summer, or one at the end of the year, so you get more than one DC film per year, but it'll take them a little while to get up to that point. If you're a person that likes to follow movie news and you've been following all the changes that have been happening behind the scenes, like them bringing in Danny Elfman instead of Junkie XL to do the music for the film, you'll understand exactly why they did stuff like that when you see the film, why they cut certain scenes out, why they reshot certain things. So I can't talk about those specifically until I do my review video, so that'll be next Wednesday when the official embargo is up. But I think the main takeaway is that everybody was just terrified that this was going to be a complete mess and it was going to be a bad movie, and those were completely unfounded. It ended up being a lot of fun, and I do think that they have a lot of movie hits on their hands. Like, they can genuinely make an amazing Flash movie. I think it just requires the right script with the right director, with the right people behind the camera. This movie comes much closer to what I think Zack Snyder was trying to do with Batman v Superman. So the tone, the characters are balanced a little bit more, but like I said, probably like the biggest problem with the film is that mandate to keep it under 2 hours. Like, it really did need an extra 20 minutes to fill out some character moments. But on the flip side of that, they're always really good with the DVD releases about putting that stuff back in. So maybe there'll be an extended cut, maybe there'll be bonus features, but I'm just assuming there's going to be a ton of deleted scenes, so it'll be fun to watch all those. What'll happen next is I have some new Flash to post this weekend, but there's new Marvel stuff dropping, so just look at the top pinned comment for the videos that I'm posting next in case my schedule changes. And leave all your requests for Justice League videos. Like I said, I can't post my review video till Wednesday night, so that's like when the official review is allowed to post. But there is a new round of the Justice League ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to Skyotic, you're the winner from the last video. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. You can click here for the first Deadpool 2 holiday promo, and you can click here for my Arrow Deathstroke Returns video. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.